Jai Hind. That was quarter-hearted. Jai Hind. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, for the men in uniform, Jai Hind is not just a greeting. It's a commitment of a lifetime. Commitment to the people of India, commitment to the Republic of India. I am Lieutenant Col Sandeep Ahlawat. I am from the Indian Army and I am from Armoured Corps. That's a tank regiment. And I have a very sacred mandate today. It's sacred because this enlisted soldier of the Union of India would be speaking to the soldier citizens of the Republic of India. Now, soldier citizen is a status that I've just bestowed upon you. And I'll be speaking to you about the 4 core values that Indian Army practices day in, day out. And these are the core values, if they are just picked up and replicated in the civil society, it will be an absolute game changer. There is so much that you can learn from the Indian Army. Indian Army is a cradle of information, and that's why I call Indian Army the ultimate Dronacharya. While I tell you the 4 core values, I would request you and urge you to pick them up while you see them and you observe them. Pick them up, even if you're not an enlisted soldier with the Union of India, even if you do not don the uniform, even if you do not be a weapon to secure our borders, just pick up the values of a soldier. It will do a world of good in building your personal character and building India's national character. And the rest of you, who are these young, bubbly, full of life, physically fit, mentally robust, able-bodied boys and girls, जिनके खून में रवानी है, जिनके खून में उबाल है, उफान है, आफत है, जिनकी नसों में फड़फड़ाहट है, come and join the Indian Army. This is a place to be. You will become part of an organization which is most loved, revered and respected organization in the country. And I promise you that you will wear your heart on your sleeves and your resume on your uniform. With this, I come to the first core value, and it's called the nation first. Ladies and gentlemen, when an Indian Army soldier goes to his training center or an Indian Army officer goes to the training academy, his DNA undergoes a change. His DNA is mutated, it is re-hardwired, it is reprogrammed. And what comes out from the portal and what comes out from the alma mater, the officers and soldiers, they are programmed and they are rewired to put only their nation first. Desh sarvopari hai. How does that happen? Well, this is the oath of an Indian Army officer. It's actually a credo. It says, the safety, honor and the welfare of your country comes first, always and every time. The honor, welfare and the comfort of the men you command come second. Your own ease, comfort and safety comes last, always and every time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the credo of an Indian Army officer. He lives by it throughout his service. And even after he superannuates, he continues to apply this on his life. He may not command men, he may not have men under his command, so the middle line may lose its relevance. But he continues to put his nation first till his dying day. You also need to know, why do Faujis put their nation first, always and every time? In order to understand that, you need to understand the oath of an Indian Army officer. And I will request you only to focus on the highlighted part. It says that I will observe and obey all commands of the Union, President of the Union of India, and commands of the officers set above me, even to the peril of my life. Now this is one line you need to understand, even to the peril of my life. It translates into Hindi कि अगर मुझे अपनी सैनिक जिम्मेदारी निभाते हुए अपनी जान की आहुति भी देनी पड़े तो मैं दूंगा और पीछे नहीं हटूंगा. This is what even to the peril of my life says. There is no job, ladies and gentlemen, in India or anywhere else which asks you to sign up for your life. There is no profession, whether it is corporate or government, which asks you to give up your life in pursuance of your job. You also need to understand from our oath and from our credo emanates the concept of unlimited liability. An Indian soldier has unlimited liability towards his nation. It cannot be quantified. Unlimited liability is a term which was coined by British General Sir John Hackett. What it essentially means is that I will, in pursuance of my military duty, will go to any length, even if that entails laying down my life. I will qualify this with a small example, ladies and gentlemen. In the month of February 2016, in Pampore, South Kashmir, 3 terrorists were holed in an EDI building. That building was 6 floors and it had 70 rooms. We tried our level best to locate the terrorists and smoke them out. It didn't work out. The next morning, a special forces team under the command of Captain Pawan Kumar was sent in. They started their search floor by floor, room by room. There was a contact established, firefight ensued, and we lost Captain Pawan Kumar. The next morning, another special forces team went in. This time it was led by Captain Tushar Mahajan. The team went in, started searching floor by floor, room by room. Contact was established, firefight ensued. We did kill the terrorists, but we lost Captain Tushar Mahajan and Naik Om Prakash. So by the time the entire operation finished, we had lost 2 brave young officers and 1 brave Jawan, Naik Om Prakash. If you observe your surroundings, if there is a fight going on at a bus stand or a railway station, and there are 2 young physically fit boys watching a girl being eve-teased, boys do not enter into that fight because of the fear of bodily harm. तो फौजियों में ये क्या जज्बा है, क्या पागलपन है, क्या जुनून है इस देश के प्रति कि they walk into certain death, they walk into the hails of bullet knowing very well that they will not come out alive. This is exactly what I'm trying to explain. This is their DNA. This is nation first. This is even to the peril of my life. And this is called unlimited liability. With this, I come to the second core value. The second core value, ladies and gentlemen, is the model of secularism. How we practice our faith. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationship between God and a soldier is a very private affair. We do not make a public spectacle out of it. In fact, a soldier very politely whispers into the ears of God कि हे भगवान, मेरे तन को इतनी शारीरिक शक्ति और मेरे मन और मस्तिष्क को इतनी मानसिक स्थिरता दे कि मैं मातृभूमि की रक्षा में अपने योद्धा धर्म का निर्वहन कर सकूं. That's the religion of a warrior, to secure the borders of the country. We do not have mandir, masjid and gurudwaras in isolation in the Indian Army, ladies and gentlemen. What we have is a Sarv Dharam Sthal. All these things, mandir, masjid, gurudwara and church are housed together at one place. So we have gods, the deities, we have religious symbols, religious books, all together at one place. So we have Ramcharitmanas, we have Gita, we have Quran Sharif, we have Guru Granth Sahib, and we have Bible placed together. A soldier walks in, prays, and goes out. In fact, an Indian Army officer does not have a religion. He adopts the religion of the troops that he commands. So, if an Indian Army officer who's Hindu gets commissioned into a unit where the troops are Muslims, then he will pray with them 5 times a day, and he will also fast for 30 days during the holy month of Ramzan. And similarly, when a Muslim officer gets commissioned into a unit wherein the troops are Hindu, he will lead the Aarti in the Sarv Dharam Sthal with a thali in his hand and will celebrate every Hindu festival, whether it is Ram Navami, Krishna Janmashtami, Holi or Diwali. If you want to see how people from all walks of life Stay together and pray together, ladies and gentlemen, come to the Indian Army. There is only Sarvadharm Sthal. We only practice Sarvadharm Sambhav, nothing more, nothing less, nothing else. The third core value that I want you to know and understand is the unity in diversity. The only thing Indian in India is Indian Army. It's a cosmopolitan rainbow coalition of all caste, creed, religion. Soldiers from various walks of life, soldiers of all hues and colors, soldiers from various states speaking different dialects, all of them stay together, pray together with a singular focus in mind to secure India's border, with a singular focus in mind to stand between misfortune and our countrymen like a rock of Gibraltar. I will qualify this with an example. Ladies and gentlemen, in the summers of 1999, Pakistan attempted a misadventure. Of course, he got a bloody nose and he was defeated resoundingly. We lost a lot of brave officers and Jawans in the Kargil war. These three brave officers belong to a band of brothers called SS-64, and I am singularly happy and lucky and privileged, like my other classmates, that I too belong to the same batch. These three brave officers, Lieutenant Satnam Singh, we all got commissioned in 1997. We were 21, 22 years old, with dreams in our eyes, full of life, living it up. And within 18 months, Operation Vijay happened. I'm from a tank regiment. Tanks did not go to Kargil. The officers, whose name is being shown in the viewfoil, went there and laid down their life. Lieutenant Satnam was from Jalandhar. He was from Punjab. He was from artillery. He got Sena Medal. Jerry Premraj was from artillery again. He got Veer Chakra. He was from Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. The third name, Lieutenant Clifford Nonglung Keshin. He's a rock star of Northeast. He was from the infantry. He's from Shillong, that is Meghalaya. And he's the only Mahavir Chakra of Meghalaya. So ladies and gentlemen, Satnam did not lay down his life for Jalandhar or Punjab. Jerry Premraj did not lay down his life for Kerala or Thiruvananthapuram. Clifford did not die for Shillong or Meghalaya. All of them laid down their life for the idea of India. Their bodies were draped in tricolor. Nothing divides an Indian Army Fauji. Absolutely nothing. No caste, no creed, no religion, no regionalism. An Indian Army officer owes his allegiance to the Constitution of India. An Indian Army officer owes his allegiance to the people of India. An Indian Army officer owes his allegiance to the Republic of India. An Indian Army officer owes his allegiance to the tricolor of India, to the national anthem of India. I'll come to the fourth core value. Ladies and gentlemen, Indian Army is not only the most well-trained, professional and most powerful army in the world, but it is also the most moral army in the world. I will qualify this with two examples. What you see on your screens, ladies and gentlemen, is the Indian soldiers burying the Pakistani soldiers in Kargil. Pakistanis ran away from Kargil. They left their dead behind. India had a very interesting situation, a very peculiar situation. We had Pakistani dead soldiers lying on our land, our side of the line of control. Indian Army asked its cleric, a Maulvi, who was a religious guru of Muslims, who was in Dras, to come to Kargil. That Maulvi trekked for 8 hours in mountainous terrain and he reached Kargil. After reaching Kargil, he read the Janaze ki namaz for the Pakistani dead soldiers. And when he chanted Allahu Akbar, 6 Hindu soldiers dutifully chanted back Allahu Akbar. Thereafter, their bodies were lowered into the graves which were literally and figuratively dug by the Indian soldiers. Pakistani soldiers were buried in the heights of Kargil by the Indian soldiers with a Pakistani flag on their body as per Muslim rituals. The second example. This is a photograph which whenever any Pakistani stationed in any part of the world sees, he hangs his head in shame. This was the biggest defeat ever inflicted by any country on another country. This is 1971 war. We had cut Pakistan into 2. We sliced them into 2 in flat 14 days. This was the biggest public surrender after World War II. 93,000 prisoners of war laid down their weapons in front of the Indian Army. Thereafter, these people who were there in the erstwhile East Pakistan, now Bangladesh, they were moved to India. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be surprised to know that the prisoners of war of the Pakistan Army were given food before the Indian Army soldiers were given. The Pakistani prisoners of war were given medicine before the Indian soldiers got medicine. The Pakistan prisoners of war were given blankets before the Indian Army soldiers got blanket. The then Chief of the Army Staff, General Sam Manekshaw, used to go around meeting them and asking them, have you been able to speak to your families? Have you been able to correspond with them? Have you informed them about your welfare? And after 1972, when the Shimla Agreement was signed, all 93,000 of them were sent back to Pakistan safe and sound. That is the character of the Indian Army. The world was stunned by the display of character, discipline, compassion, charitra, chehra, tehzeeb, adab of the Indian Army. And that's the reason I say Indian Army is not only the most professional, lethal, well-trained army in the world, it's also the most moral army in the world. A lot of my friends on the CV streets keep asking me, is there anything I can do for the soldier? The nameless, faceless soldier, unsung soldier who has been standing guard and sentinel at the line of control and border for the last 72 years and has been doing his job unassumingly. I have only one thing to say through this platform, ladies and gentlemen, just be a citizen worth fighting for. And if the situation demands, the soldier will go and lay down his life as per his oath for his country, for his tricolor, for his namak and nishan of his paltan. And if he does that, just be a citizen worth dying for. Jai Hind.